everyone, it is 3:44 a.m. and I'm here to review the season finale of What If, or the overall What If Season 2. I'm very excited to talk about this. I enjoyed What If Season 1, and this will be a non-spoiler review, so if you have not seen the season yet, or the show, feel free to watch this video, and then check out the show later on based on my thoughts. But this show's airing period has been interesting since it's been airing daily for the past little over a week or so, and not weekly like the past season or most other Marvel shows. So it's been an interesting experience, especially over the Christmas season. So I'm really excited to talk about it, and let's get further into things. I'll give my little breakdowns of each episode before I get into my overall thoughts. Episode 1, What If Nebula Joined the Nova Corps? Kind of slow, but a decent enough cool concept. A little goofy at the end, but it's fun. Episode 2, What If Peter Quill Attacked Earth? Really, really cool concept. It's awesome to see all the Avengers characters from the 80s gathered together. I think that's the best part of this. And seeing Hope and, young Hope bond with young Quill, or, with that part of the story is really fun. It ends up with a sweet ending. It's just a really cool what if concept. Episode 3, What If Happy Hogan Saved Christmas? Very, very goofy. Not sure if I'm the fan of a certain Hulk plotline, but I like a good MCU Christmas special, and the return of Justin Hammer as the villain is very much appreciated. Episode 4, What If Tony Stark Landed on Sakaar? This is supposed to air last season. It's a neat, fun concept with some cool racing, Mad Max style. A cool look at Sakaar, the much well-welcomed return of the Grand Master, and Korg being funny for the first time since, Ragnarok. Episode 5, The Return of Captain Carter. I thought this was a more interesting Captain Carter story than the original, because instead of just rehashing the first Avenger, it was kind of doing Winter Soldier again, but tying into Black Widow, showing the world decades later. Very cool, interesting ending, and I think a great continuation of the character. Episode 6, around Kahori. This is a cool what-if concept, because the MCU's first totally original protagonist. It starts with a cool enough what-if concept, and I think the overall tie into the story, the new characters, the great animation, it's really fun, and I like this episode. Episode 7 was a very, very fun one. That was about Hela and the 10 Rings. I thought that was cool. I love the return of Cate Blanchett, and it led to a really interesting and neat ending. Episode 8, The Avengers forming in 1602. What I thought was just a meh concept ended up having really well execution. Great dynamics for the Avengers in the 1600s, a cool plot twist, and what ended up being probably the weakest concept of the bunch, ended up being actually maybe my favorite of the season. And then the season finale, What If Supreme Strange intervened? Very interesting episode, a lot of very, very OP characters, but led to a cool finale and a very solid, satisfying resolution to the series and some characters in the show. My overall thoughts on the season, just a couple criticisms out of the way. Just like last season, I thought the dialogue was kind of weak, kind of a little too goofy, a little too tongue-in-cheek, not that strong, maybe a little too played out by voice actors who are just kind of feels like they're kind of in the booth for a day, get it all done, they're done. That's only some, not most, but just the dialogue's always bugged me in this show. The animation is generally still pretty good, but there's a couple of shots, especially close-up face shots, where it gets a little iffy. And then near the finale, in this show, there's a lot of very, very overpowered, insanely powerful multiversal characters, but it makes me kind of question the overall MCU saga right now. Why is all the focus on Kang when all these guys in the What If cartoon seem to be so much more powerful and so much more dangerous, but that's who we're focusing on? It's a little weird, but they wrap it all up pretty neatly by the end, so it doesn't bug me too much. But some of the pros for this season, well, I thought a lot of the concepts for this season were weaker than last season. Overall, I thought they had better payoff and execution, where the last season was neat concept, solid, fun execution. This one, it's okay concept, but really interesting, fun execution, which, maybe edged out season 1 for me for a little bit in that regard. I loved seeing the Avengers assemble in the 80s and 1602. I liked how they made a Blade Runner style episode, a Christmas special episode. The way this is focused less on what's a cool what if concept and more of what's a cool story we can tell in the MCU and how can we use what if to get there is kind of what this show's doing, and I appreciate it. I like how they do it. I love the return of a lot of voice members from the MCU, specifically Cate Blanchett as Hela was an awesome return. I wasn't sure they were going to get her, and I'm happy they did. It all built up to a cool finale that kind of let a lot of episodes just kind of breathe on their own without tying them all together like last season, but still tied together a couple of episodes, and it was pretty cool. My favorite of the season was definitely What If the Avengers Assembled in 1602. I thought that was so fun, but I really enjoyed a lot of others as well. And I always enjoyed some MCU Christmas content, even if this episode was a little goofy. Overall, aside from some dialogue and OP issues, I still thought it was a really, really fun season. I liked seeing the return of so many characters. I liked how a lot of the concepts were a lot more about the genre and the cool stories than the actual what if. And I thought it was a lot of fun. I'd say it edges out season 1 by a little bit, even though I like that. I like the daily release schedule. I don't think it could have worked in many other contexts, but releasing this whole season like of an anthology show over the Christmas season, I thought it was fun and I liked it. So I'd give What If Season 2 an 8 out of 10. I hope you guys liked the video. Coming tomorrow, my ranking of all 38 new movies I saw in 2023. See y'all then. Bye for now.